Twitch says
We are live.
Good.
Maybe. Are we live?
We're
Yeah,
live.
we are live.
Good. Good. I was worried.
Welcome.
Welcome,
We are live.
peoples. Tracy says yay. Yay to you, Tracy.
Yeah, it works on one of my monitors and now not on the other one. So now I'm trying to.
Welcome to the chaos that is everyone posting that we're live on their social media. Hi, I'm one of your co-hosts, Riv or River, and executive producer. With me, I have Jess.
Hello, everyone.
There it is. Oh,
And
you're not
I'm
gonna throw up someone else?
Samara, but I don't get an introduction apparently. So whatever. Oh my fucking god.
We definitely
No.
plan all of these every single time.
That was great. We did through two intros smoothly.
Too
And then we're
interesting.
gonna bump.
Samara, do you want to do the final toss to someone else? Our guest here.
She's stuck. Somebody hit her quick.
Welcome again to the live show of podcast of Transpotting. We
You don't need to
are
redo the whole
today
thing.
Joined by the wonderful Eve joining us today. Thank you for taking the time and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Wonderful to be here again.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
may
You were
remember
actually here
Eve.
for part of an episode.
Once we had the community stream from the Discord. A bunch of us were here.
Yes. I
was
believe you
fun.
may have been on some bonus content as well.
There
for
was that one game
streaming.
stream we did.
Yeah.
The bonus content that I said that I would continue and actually do and never actually continue doing.
Yeah.
It's the bunny trails. They get the best of you every
Anyway,
time.
I'm a busy
Bunny
gal.
trails. Oh, aren't we? Eve, tell us about yourself. We'll just do the thing where we interview you.
Was that the whole point? I'm the star. It's me.
No.
Oh, I'm not the star?
God.
No, it's still
Well, I
in
did
Justice
title this
contract that
stream all
he's the
about
star
you.
no matter what.
Yes,
Oh, that's right. The male privilege.
this one is all about Eve, though.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, about me. The long
Well-
and short of it, I'm one of
Well,
the.
just tell us this, just give us a slow snippet about you. Like, who are you?
You know, the hardest part is like finding where to start because I have 1,000 things that just flood in my head all at one time.
Yeah, that's why I say it. Just start with the premise of who are you?
Start
Oh.
at the beginning, and when you come to the end,
Oh
Stop.
God,
Well,
We're not
it
writing a
all
novel.
started when I was 5 or 6 years old.
shit.
Never say start at the beginning because I will load
Same.
that. No,
yeah.
for those who don't know, my name is Eve, as the little label right there says. I joined the Discord, almost 2 years ago, not quite. And I've been hanging out there, met everyone, and having a lot of fun, and became a server mod. That's been a party in and of itself at times. And outside of the Discord world, I'm an aerospace inspector. I get to look at jet engine stuff all day. That's always fun. And then, of course, with all that is all the nerdy stuff one likes to do, as you can see in all the display cases behind me. So, but those are the highlights.
Aerospace stuff. How did you get into aerospace stuff?
Well, originally, I was a graphic designer for about 12 years. And then we had this whole thing happen where the economy in 08 said, well, on second thought, let's not. And employment became a problem, and that became rocky for a couple of years. So I took a job at the temp agency, just working in a factory. Bounced between a couple of those, and then I got into one factory making electric clutch brake modules, which are, given what they're supposed to do, does not, I don't trust them. Tale for another time. Worked in that place for about 6 years, worked my way up the ranks, and then I applied for an aerospace company and got in the door as an inspector. So I got off the manufacturing side into inspection.
Nice.
What's fun about that is when you see in the news and you hear about a jet engine failing or a plane crash, God forbid, the first thing we always ask was it my engine? Did I do it? Because you start to worry very quickly if it was your fault. And then you realize it's not yours, like, oh, okay, and you go back to your day. It's terrible to say, but it's the truth.
God.
It's what happens.
Like, well, at least I didn't Donnie Darko someone.
You gotta worry.
Oh boy.
It's important.
Has
Safety, kids, quality. It's important.
Well, you probably can't answer this question, but has any of those events been linked back to anywhere you know of?
I mean, if you're referring to
Manufacturing,
the
'cause I
company
know
I
I'm
work for
really
specifically, which I'm trying to protect so I don't dox them,
Yeah.
I don't know of any incidences in recent years. Historically, there have been. It's inevitable. I hate saying that it's inevitable. flight is one of the safest ways you can travel, but there's risk in everything, right? Most of the failures these days have been Boeing because it's Boeing and they don't like quality anymore.
Yeah.
But no, the most recent failures that we had were a direct result of things no one anticipated. Yeah, I could go down that story there if you really want to hear about it, but that will just take up airtime.
We got airtime.
All right. Well, when you work with jet engine parts specifically, and a lot of manufacturing, you get really, really tight tolerances. Kind of a crash course in engineering. You're talking fractions of an inch. So take a block, a 1-inch block, slice it 10,000 times. The things I work with are held within just 2 of those slices. So 2 10,000ths of an inch. Very, very, very tight. Some of the other things we do go into the micron scale because you're looking internally into the metal. And one of the incidences that we had that was a failure, they found that there was something going even multiple levels past microns, but no one in the jet engine industry checks at that resolution because they didn't think it was possible to happen. Did all this stuff, figured out what was wrong, and it actually became a safety bulletin that went out to every single jet engine manufacturer in the world, because those type of things you don't gatekeep. But no one was looking at it. It created all new FAA standards. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, but no one got hurt in that particular incident, mind you. No planes fell out of the sky. It's just this really scary moment for those involved.
Like, oh shit, everything.
You see, we've all seen those
Everything.
TikTok videos where like the nose cone is spinning in the front of the engine, is creating all kinds of sparks. That type of stuff.
What?
It's always scary.
Sparks McGee.
That's me.
I've never seen those, and I don't think I want to. Seeing like those like world-ending videos of like planes crashing and mechanical
No, it's not quite
failures and
that
things
bad.
like that are just like, no, I don't need that when I fly. I
When
already have enough
airplanes
anxieties.
attack.
You don't want airplanes falling out of the sky.
No, airplanes need to stay in the sky or on the runways.
Yes, preferably.
Do you like how long have you been in the aerospace industry?
Coming up on 9 years in March.
Okay, so do you feel like you fly different? Like, do you feel differently now when you fly, or do you notice different things? Or
I tend to ask the pilot if I see them when I first walk on what engine they have, because they know. The pilots do know what engines are in, and I do ask, and that kind of dictates how I feel about that particular plane.
gotcha.
You know, in general, the jet engines are rarely the problem these days. It's typically the airframe because if you keep up with the news, but Boeing made some really boneheaded decisions with their quality to save money and to generate more money for the higher ups. So there's an scary documentary on Netflix about that. Highly recommend it. I don't know the name of it offhand, but definitely look it up. You'll learn a lot real quick.
I'm going to pull something from the chat because I think it's hilarious. Have you ever gotten to the gate and turned around and said nope?
Thankfully, no, not yet. Not yet. Almost did it in October when I went to visit a friend of mine, but that wasn't because of the plane. No.
That's fair. I was actually going to ask something, and now I'm really trying hard to remember it because brain isn't braining today. Oh, it was about the whole changes with airplanes, and do you know how they're trying to get the profit and everything, and Boeing, because it's interesting right now with like one of the airlines in Canada is actually having a lot of hate sent towards it because they're basically shrinking the amount of distance between seats to add in another row to make that little bit more money. And it's just like, it makes me laugh a little bit because of just, they're like, we're just trying to keep it affordable for you. And it's just like, no, you're just trying to raise your margins.
There is some, I mean, corporate greed is corporate greed. We've all had the discussions about capitalism and how wonderful it is to live within. The companies will always put profits first. Some are better than others when it comes to the people that deal with those products, thankfully. The extra seat thing, whenever I hear that, the only thing that flashes through my mind, honestly, is the obesity issue here in the States. And it's like, oh, look, now you have to buy even more seats. It's just, they're already tight enough. Like, I don't want to be like that the whole ride. Who wants to be this way?
Well, I mean, it's not so much like this. It's more the distance between in the legroom that they're changing. And somebody
Gross.
actually had a video, this poor 6 foot something guy who couldn't keep his legs straight. Like his legs were like this from the seat in front of him. And one of the aisle attendants is like, "We're about to take off. Can you straighten your legs?" Because it's not safe. And it's just
Okay.
like, he's like, "No, I can't." Like,
Jeez.
so now a lot of the discussion that's come from that video is, of course, this isn't safety, because if there was a crashing, how the hell are you supposed to put your head between your legs?
And that's still in the books, still in the little pamphlets. It'd be interesting if they updated those little pamphlets that go with it. I guess now it's just hold on a seat in front of you and pray.
Yes,
Or what was
interesting
it?
is the word, not horrific.
My favorite is still the Chicken Run reference. In the case of a crash, put your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye.
Pretty much.
That's a far reach, but I could try.
Oh, Jess.
Oh, Jess,
Sorry.
I appreciate it.
Welcome.
No, I appreciate that when we have dead air and you just sneak right in there and just get a joke in and reset everything.
Reset everything. Well, Eve, you were telling us that you referenced a little bit behind you with the little bit of nerddom that you have. You want to kind of give us a little bit of a walk around with all your lovely displays that you have on there, because I see like a nice sword. It looks like there's a mannequin with chainmail or something. There's like figures. Like, give us a little bit of your nerddom.
So a lot of what's in the cases is from a tabletop game, Warhammer 40K. I used to play that a lot years past. When I moved, I lost touch with that gaming group. So I don't do it as much. But yeah, I have 5 cases. There's one over here you can't see that are just packed with miniatures that I had to build, paint, etc. It is a very expensive hobby, and I think for a while there, it was literally more expensive than cocaine on the average price. In the gaming tabletop industry, it is literally called plastic crack because it is about as expensive. Don't do drugs, kids. Yeah, each of the cases is just from the stuff that I've completed over the years. In the middle, got one of my old Ren Fair outfits. That's what some of the swords in the wall. Although that sword that you can actually see, that's Samara, help me out. Sting, Lord of the Rings. That's what that is. My actual sword is on the other wall. Which, if you want, I can go grab it.
Do it.
You want to see my sword? You want to see my sword?
Embrace chaos. Do it.
Do we want to see your sword? What kind of question is that?
Reject modernity.
Oh my god.
Embrace sword.
This is not that kind of stream. We talked about this last year or last week.
That's a different place.
Did we?
No, but it's a 13th century arming sword, and it is sharp. This actually is very sharp. I won't buy anything that's not functional, but that's personal choice there.
That's fantastic.
This is just
I
one of
love
the ones I
that.
saw online, and I'm like, no, I have to have that. It's irresponsible of me. I didn't need it, but I had to have it. But yeah, there you go.
Okay,
We'll see her
show
all
us
this
Sting.
whole
Show
time.
us Sting.
What do you want?
Show us Sting.
I can grab Sting.
Not the artist, the weapon.
Well, what looks better, Sting the weapon or Sting
I'll
the
be
artist?
watching you. Depends on the age.
I don't mind Sting as the artist, but
Wait.
Really should clean this room.
Yes.
We have Sting, of course.
Ooh, very stingy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
so
that's-
elfy, so stingy.
That's a nice can see the difference. So it is a little bit shorter as well, right?
It is.
See, it's like outside of the top of the frame.
Yep,
It
it's a
is
short sword.
shorter. But it is a short sword, not a dagger. This is a
Nope.
very good example of a short sword.
Well, if you want a
And I
dagger
do
for
like the-
comparison, there's more.
You're going to get me going down the Lord of the Rings road with the short sword dagger and all this other stuff, because technically they are considered Sting is considered an elvish dagger. That is actually what it is referred to. So because
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the question. Okay, an elvish dagger might be like a dwarf sword, or certainly a hobbit sword, right?
well, it's considered
Relative
the
to
hobbits
body
do
size,
consider it
or-
a sword for them, because the fact that they're I think Meriadoc at the end of Lord of the Rings was like 3'4" or 3'6",
Right.
I think.
It's tall for a
Right. Okay, so can we see see that exactly, yes. Okay. So I see the short sword is a wee longer
Yep.
than the dagger.
Yep. This is a standard I mean, this is a standard dagger. This is also a 13th century reproduction. It's got a little more chrome on it, unfortunately, but yeah, this is a reproduction of an actual dagger that you would have found in, say, England or France from its era.
That's really reflective.
Yeah, but it's the only one they had, so I went with it.
Nice. And it's obviously that's long enough that that's going to be still going to be a belt weapon.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
You'd use this in conjunction with your longsword for
Right.
defense, but this would also be just like your generic everyday kind of carry with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not quite the pocket knife though, is what I mean.
No,
Because
that's
putting it in your
I got one of those
It's
around here
gotta be
somewhere
a-
too.
belt shelf.
I mean, for a comparison, if you really want, short dagger, pocket knife,
Love it.
which doesn't open.
That's not a
Unfortunately,
knife.
That's a knife.
And by the way, I did look it up, and Meriadoc was 4'6". My apologies. He was a foot taller. But
Nobody
yeah,
at her.
everybody at me. I'll take him on.
Everybody at you. Take them all on. In a fight, right? In a fight, right?
Okay, wait. I'm sorry.
We've
who
got
was a
some
foot
stuff from
taller?
chat.
Meriadoc Brandabuck.
Okay. Yes.
Like,
Oh, I see. Breeze
OMG.
asking all kinds of questions.
Anyways, yeah, we have a whole bunch of
Yeah.
questions here. One,
Let me-
and this one I know that you can go on for a while, but what is your favorite dino and why?
Yes.
I knew there'd be a dinosaur question at some point because it's not like I haven't made that known on the Discord a few hundred times. My personal favorite dinosaur is Parasaurolophus. Probably pronouncing that incorrectly. There's two ways that people tend to say it, but Parasaurolophus. I like it strictly because the big crest it has on its head. It looks cool. Like no other reason than that. It is just a very cool looking dinosaur. It's effectively what you could. It's in the Hadrosaur family or the Parasaur family adjacent, and think of them as cows of their era. They're basically cows, only really really big and loud. One of the cool things they're actually guessing about parasaurs, because they have their crest and their nasal cavity runs all the way up in that crest, is that they might have used that for communication and that they might have been able to generate what's called infrasound. Infrasound is below the range of hearing that we can hear, but those sounds would travel upwards of 40 miles. So if you could imagine just being at your front door yelling something and 40 miles away your significant other hears it, that's pretty wild.
Okay. And when you say below the sounds that we would hear, that would actually mean like lower in tone.
Infrasound is below frequency.
Okay.
It's right around like the 15, 20 hertz-ish range.
Okay. I wonder if we would like feel it and
You
not
would.
hear it.
You'd absolutely feel
Right.
it, and you'd feel
Almost
that'd be
like
like some of those
thunder.
test things you'd notice.
Yeah.
Think like
Like a pressure change.
kind of like an earthquake. Like things aren't really moving much around you, but you
Right.
feel it. You know, it's like it's one of those type of sounds. Which, God forbid, if parents could yell at their kids in infrasound.
Imagine. Well, I'm just thinking, imagine being like the significant other of one of these dinosaurs. Out on the town, you're having a great time, and all of a sudden you stop and you go, "Oh, I gotta go home."
I feel like there
Mom's
was
calling,
like
"How
a
can you
movie
tell?"
with that
You're like,
premise or
"That's-
something.
What's that, Sam?
Gotta go
I-
home.
I want to say there was like a movie or something on that premise.
But there was. It was a couple years ago. I saw something like that pop up. Bree's asking all the questions. I see in the Discord. There's like 4 in a row. I could just keep going down that
Bree
line
is
though.
a curious one. Hey, okay, here we go. All right, fine. What do you want to answer next? Do you want to just pick some?
Go right ahead. You got control. You could put it on the screen.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Or what?
Put it on the screen. If I want to put it on the screen, tell us about your trans experience.
My trans experience. Wow. Okay. That's the one that goes all the way back to when I was 5. Yeah, that's my trans experience.
It's
where
a
do I
very
s-
broad question. pun
It
intended.
is. Hi Cosmos, my other cat has come to visit. But I'm not going to pick him up because he tends to go to ground and it makes it hard for me. Yes, and to that Bree's other question, I have 2 cats. They might make an appearance if they manage to get up on my lap. But my trans experience, for me, it's one of those death by 1,000 cuts. We often talk in the community about our eggs breaking. When does your egg crack? I considered mine to have been cracked throughout my whole life. It finally shattered though a few years ago. But for me, it was just my whole life. It was always just one of those background noise kind of things. I look at other women as a kid, for example, on the playground. It's like, well, why does she get to wear that and I can't? I wasn't necessarily mad or jealous, but it was always these persistent questions that just could not be answered. As I got older, those questions always remained. You know, they don't go away because you don't know why. You may not have the words. And it was just always this persistent feeling. The way I like to describe my overall experience, how my dysphoria tended to internally manifest itself. Think of a lawnmower. You know, your neighbor's out mowing their lawn and you got your window open and they're on the other side of the yard. So not too loud, but you can tolerate it. But as they get closer, it gets louder and it gets more annoying to the point where you want to shut the window, but you can still hear the damn lawnmower. And eventually it goes away, but it comes back. And that was kind of what I was dealing with throughout my whole life. It was just this persistent annoyance that no matter what I could do, I couldn't get it to stop making noise. Sure, I could distract myself, get involved in this, that, and the other, and I'd forget about it for a few minutes, but it always came back. And right around the summer of 24, I'd had enough. There was too many things I was seeing online, too many Facebook posts were popping up about this, that, and the other, and it's just like, it's too much. Right around the 4th of July of 24, I ended up ordering a bathing suit because I used to cross-dress. For many years, I did cross-dressing drag, basically. But I didn't do drag for performance because I don't have a performative bone in my body. I'm 2 left feet and all thumbs. So don't ask me to ever dance or sing. It's not going to go well. Make great for embarrassing videos at family reunions is about it. But that was my train of thought. Drag. But when I would go out in drag, I would always try to be as authentically, stereotypically feminine as I could, not performative. And I always told people that I wanted to go to have a feminine experience. And I look back on that now and it's like, that was a pretty heavy sign because when I went out in those moments with my friends and we were just doing things like going to TGI Fridays for dinner or just going casually shopping or whatever, like it was just average stuff, but it always was a good time. And my friends were always like, you're much nicer when you're dressed up. It's almost like something was bothering me.
I feel like that was more of a billboard than a sign.
Probably. I literally had one friend said, I like you better this way. And we had gone to the bar that night. But yeah, it was death by a thousand cuts. Anyways, you get to July, summer of 2024. I had ordered a bathing suit. It was a one piece because I'm not hiding anything and tried it on, looked in the mirror and I'm like, yep, nope, it's got to happen. And that kind of brought me to that moment and reach out to the doctor, make your appointment. A couple months later, got my first HRT dose and here we are.
I recall a little bit more to that story, I think, but
there probably is. Those are just the highlights.
Yeah. Was there ever a point where you were struggling with the idea of medical transition? It sounds like you were like, oh, cool, I'm going to call the doctor and get right into that. Can you? I know I'm putting you on the spot, and I know that I'm making you be very vulnerable, but it is a podcast.
No, not at all.
And I do know you very well.
No, it's fine. I'm very open about this stuff. I don't have an issue sharing a lot of that. My base philosophy is I will tell you anything about me provided you ask the right question. Typically, if I give you a sarcastic answer, you gave me the wrong question. But no, I'd actually been debating HRT probably since summers in my 20s. It was a lot of back and forth as to whether or not it was right for me. Whether that was me just trying to fit into the niche I was raised in as stereotypical guy, stuff like that, or if it was me just trying to blend into a role or I was masking, or a mix of all of the above. But I was always asking that question. I did start debating HRT sooner than that, July. That's when I made the decision. I think I first started looking online I was looking at folks.com, FOLX. Oh God, probably the winter prior, like easily a full year prior to my first actually starting. A friend of mine, we had gotten on a little Zoom call together and we were talking about it and we were looking at the website together. So no, there was definitely thought about starting it even sooner, but either I wasn't ready or there was too much going on in my life to start it. Take your pick.
Yeah. Well, now you're here and I'm so proud of you.
I am here. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's an interesting journey to take. I'm fortunate in that a lot of the people I had around me were already very open, very accepting. And I know for many people in our community, there's a lot of loss when it comes to family and friends. Just for us to, we make a decision to be who we need to be. I think during that first podcast I was on a while back, I had said, it's about choosing who we need to be for ourselves more than anything else. And people love to make it about themselves. Welcome to current politics in America, by the way.
Yay.
It's about me, not about you. But in this case, no, it was very much. I was fortunate that I have parents. Well, half my parents. My parents are divorced. One half I don't talk to these days. But that's besides the point. My parents are supportive. I have some family members who've been very supportive. Some more than I ever expected. And then I've had a close circle of friends that have had zero issue with it. A lot of them were not surprised at all. A couple of them were like, "It's about time." Those are the fun ones. But yeah, no, I have gotten very, very lucky in that regards. And then I found this community as well, which has been wonderful. So I've had a lot of support all along.
Hell yeah. We love to see it.
Did
Hell
you end
yeah.
up going with folks?
What about folks?
Do you use them?
I do. For me, it was largely the convenience of it. I didn't have to go through a general practitioner because I still don't have one. Trying to get a hold of my medical records, it's just been complicated getting them. But no, I went through them, which is a surprisingly easy process. If I'm being honest, I think their process is probably easier than it should be. There's a narrative online that, especially amongst conservatives, that, oh, you could just go to a doctor and they'll just give you the stuff and they'll give it to kids and blah, 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 blah. They are very open about it. But to be fair, I'm in my 40s. And when I was talking with the doctor, we went over a lot of this stuff, my initial evaluation, and I think when you have someone who's been debating it for 20-something years and has a consistent behavior, I think that kind of opens the door for me a lot easier. Possibly. Don't know. I'm not the doctor. I didn't make that decision. So, but no, I did go with folks. The only downside is it's expensive. I got a $300 bill waiting for me right now. I got to pay for my next round of medications. So
Yeah, my doctor experience was very similar to that. I mean, I think you're very much on the money that, when you're older, it's like doctors aren't going to sit there and like question your decisions as much as, when you're younger, they're going to, you're still trying to figure things out. I mean, if I were to go into my doctor's, when I was a teenager, they asked me a billion questions every single time, just trying to make sure. And usually it was the same damn question, just making sure that the stories were consistent. When I went in, for HRT for, my transition, it was very much exactly that of just like, okay, well, it's not like it's coming out of nowhere because you're, in your 30s,
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective though, because I remember seeing like an article about that, and I mean, I know that's like a hot spot, but I do see the point of like, I was very similar that when I went to get my HRT, I happened to be talking to my doctor, like my PCP, but like she was like, oh yeah, this actually makes a lot of sense, but it was like she had known me. It was like that, she had that. So she didn't have a bunch of questions for me. She was like, oh yeah, okay, let's get this lined up for you, and that was about it. But I mean, yeah, sure. You would think that maybe it would be different for different experiences. I wonder if they have a different process at all for people in different states, or just with their own different standards of care through, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're using them for insurance, then it may be more like state-based if there's any differences. I don't know.
I know one of the primary standards they use is the W path, and that's pretty universally accepted.
Yeah.
These days, I don't want to jump into the political rabbit hole, at least not yet. It is a bit contentious state to state, getting here where I am in New England versus, say, being in Texas or something, probably different. I don't know, though, if that's actually the case. But yeah, it's I think universally the actual method of care is consistent. It's where the politics gets involved that it becomes complicated. And as we're all well aware, trans youth are definitely getting targeted a heck of a lot more than the rest of us are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think you are right that it seems like the W path, even though that has also been a bit of a contentious subject somewhat recently, that does seem like the standard pretty generally accepted standard, and something that was also didn't just come out of nowhere. It has been a standard for quite some time, and I think has like evolved. It just has recently come under such fire for the youth, especially.
Well, I know WPath is consistently evolving. I know that recently there was a change to how gender dysphoria is actually recognized. It's no longer considered as a mental illness. It's now considered, I don't remember what it's actually now considered, but they're taking it completely out of the mental sphere and more into a just I don't know. I don't want to misquote it. I don't want to missay it, so I don't remember what it is. Like but it was changed recently.
When they went to the DSM-5, I believe whatever they had. God, no, maybe I think it was DSM-3. It's been several years now since they removed gender dysphoria as a mental diagnosis, to be aligned with, say, something like bipolar disorder or any of the other type things. I don't think bipolar counts in that category. I could be really speaking on that one, so I apologize. But yeah, no, they took it away from a lot of those mental illness type categories because of how it functions in the way that the medical pathing works to the curative side of it, if you will. But yeah, I'd have to look that up. I forgot. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it was only in the news recently, like in the last month, I want to say, that I saw it. And once again, I saw it and I kind of went, huh?
It's a popular talking point for people on the right. If you ever watch any debaters on YouTube, and you get a lot of the far right ideologues, your Christian nationalists, especially MAGA types, that is one of the talking points they like to point out. Oh, it's a mental disorder. No, it's not. It's not. You're just not aware of the topic and how it works.
Well, and I think that's one of the reason why they did change it. Is because of the blowback that, people were getting with it, and just the idea that, put trans people in mental institutes because they're mental, it's just like, well, fuck off. Anyways, I was going to ask, just with your transgender journey, and you told us a little bit about your work, can you tell us about how the transition in your workplace went?
Yeah.
How you found the challenges, how you found the industry is, just in general that way.
So corporation I work for itself initially, because I started transitioning medically in September of 2024, socially March of 2025. When I first started that transition, I had a lot of confidence. We had some great DEI initiatives. We had a lot of different ERGs at work. If you're not familiar with ERGs, that was something that got really popularized with DEI stuff during the Biden administration. I'm trying to define what an ERG is. Employee Resource Group, that's it. And we had our Pride group. We had one for Latina area ERGs. We had Asian American ERGs. We had all these really cool things. There were great little communities that popped up, so we could all create these connections at work. And it was all a part of. It kind of grew out of those early DEI initiatives. And so it was very comforting to be able. It's like, you know what? There's a place here for me. There were articles on our internal intranet on our My site that were from trans employees talking about coming out in the company. And we're not talking just people like at my level who are the shop floor grunts. We're talking people like the upper finance levels and stuff like that. Like, it was really cool to see. Then we had a change of power with the presidency, and the DEI initiatives went away. But the company kind of just went, okay, fine, we're getting rid of them, but we don't care. They don't make anything of it. I am very fortunate in that I am in a union, one of the few unions left, it seems. And when we had our contract negotiation this year, I pushed very hard with one of my stewards to take the DEI language that the company used to have, as well as the affirmative action language that was lost. That is enshrined in my union contract. So if my company said, let's do something terrible, you can't. So I wanted to make sure that my community, at least within my local union, was protected. So that's been a huge, real comfort there. But as for work itself, I've got some amazing coworkers that have been amazing, amazing supportive friends. One of them is actually watching right now. She was texting me while we were talking before. Just an amazing supportive group. the worst blowback I've had was from the more conservative members on our shop floor. But the worst they've done is they just stopped talking to me. They still come to me when they need something. We have a job. We have to work together. But they just kind of don't talk to me. It's like, okay, I don't get a good morning from you. Fine. That doesn't affect me in any real appreciable way. So there you go. And I've had some coworkers who, at least two come to mind, who've directly said, I'm amazed at how strong you are to do this. So to hear those type of things has been really uplifting and reassuring, and it does make you feel a bit safer in the day to day, because at least I know that when it comes down to it, I'm hoping they'll be on my side if something bad does occur. So, but again, I've been lucky. When I go back to what I said earlier about the people around me, I've gotten very, very lucky. Not everyone has that, unfortunately, and it sucks.
It's easy to, I think, have I guess, survivor's guilt about having, I think, support when a lot of people don't. I invite you to just appreciate it. I know it's so hard to come by, and I know we want to provide that to the community and others. And I see you do that every day in the Discord server. So thank you.
I try.
Yeah. That's the whole point of the server.
Yeah.
What?
pretty
Being
cool.
supportive of each other? No.
Going back to Bree's question earlier about my experience, trans experience, those are a lot of the pros. One of the big things that comes out of all of this that everyone can relate to who goes down this is what you start to unpack mentally. Whether it is deconstructing for someone like myself who grew up with a lot of the patriarchal habits. It's deconstructing and finding out things about yourself that you didn't know were there. River, you put it best once in a DM to me. I'll see if I can quote it. Once you start going down this path, your brain is existing as it was always meant to exist, because you've dropped that mask. You're no longer pretending, and the things you learn about yourself it's shocking what pops up and when they do. It can be the smallest of things, and you're like, wow, okay. I wish I could think of a direct example. I can't at the moment, but yeah, it's you start to realize, and of course the trauma unpacking, which is one of the big ones that we all have to go through.
The
And those,
trauma.
yeah, and that takes a long time, whether that's religious informed, familial informed, self-imposed. I have a very, very bad habit of gaslighting myself. It's a lot. It is a lot, but it's as Samara has said, it's a marathon. You're not going to win this quickly. It takes a long time. We're the only Samara here, but it's a lot. Yeah.
I don't remember ever saying that, but sure, totally. I totally said that.
Oh, I remember, because that was an interesting
He's
night. That
got
was the night we were
receipts.
watching SAO, and I had that breakdown because that one episode is still unbelievably good and also heart-wrenchingly sad. If you haven't watched it, if you haven't seen it, watch Sword Art Online. Very good anime.
Well, semi-good ending. The
Trans
show
girls
kind
don't
of
watch anime.
Sword Art Online, going down the anime rabbit hole. Great start, great mid, and it kind of just slowly goes like this. It ends well, and I'm glad they stopped where they ended, because had they tried to continue, I feel it would have gone, Dexter syndrome sort of thing. But yeah. Good old Dexter.
And the other fun thing too about, which I think we can all relate to, is you really get into your trans journey, especially once you hit that social transition part, because that's when you're out there. You ain't hiding it anymore. You're taking all the good and bad that society has to throw at you. You get to embrace things that you've always wanted to. One of the big things that pop up, and Bree, I see your question in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on that because you're asking all the questions tonight. It's interesting where it leaves you go, because you get one of the fun things we get to do is we get to change our style. Jess has a tie collection now, for example. I'm big with my nails and learning about hair and all that stuff. So it's a lot of fun getting to experiment now in a world that before was ancillary. I now get to fully embrace it and live in it. And it's been a blast. It's expensive too. Rebuying a wardrobe really is painful on the wallet.
Getting to express yourself is expensive? What? No, I have
And
no
also
idea
buying
what
a whole new
you're talking
wallet
about.
too.
I've fallen down the purse rabbit hole. I've got a purse wall in my other room. So
Oh no, it's begun. She's too
It
far
gets
gone.
expensive. Yeah, no, yeah, Samara, yeah, thank you. You kind of
Oh,
started
there it
this.
is.
um, yes, and I
Once you
do
get
agree
one,
that
can't
tattoos
stop.
are gender affirming care. Um, I'll get that was interesting too. I got this first tattoo recently, and one of the fleeting funny thoughts that I had with it when peripherally I see it in my because I'm still not accustomed to it, so I always catch it in my peripheral vision and go, wait, what's on my arm? Um, it's funny because it makes me feel more feminine. Weirdly, I don't know. I can't explain why, but it's interesting that it kind of poked my brain a little bit in that regards. Um, there will be more. God damn it! I hate you both. I hate you all.
I don't know if like, and I don't. I know Riv. Riv can also respond to this as well, and I don't know if Jess has any tattoos, but I don't think it was more of a femininity thing for me, but it was for me. It was like this was my most recent one, but like this was my second tattoo that I got, and it was like it wasn't about it being feminine, it was more of just like being able to express myself and being able to have it there and just being, because I can think before my transition I would have never gotten a tattoo. I would have never gotten a tattoo. But since I transitioned, I'm up to 4, and I want like 4 or 5 more at this point. And so like, and this is where I'm saying like, Riv, you can, go into this more as well, because I know you have tattoos.
Well, I mean, to be fair, my very first tattoo is one I can show you on a different kind of stream, because it's on my hip bone and it's a little music note. There were no signs, right, of getting tattoos in feminine locations, and yeah. So, for me, it was probably a little bit of trying to find peace somewhat with the feminine part of myself because it was the first year out of my parents' house in college. So, yeah.
But you got more since you transitioned, because I know these ones are your newer ones, I think.
These are new. These are I think the only ones I've gotten since transition. But yeah, I'm due. I'm definitely due for some more. So,
I definitely see it as like, and I don't know, Eve, if it's like that. Is it that one that you got on your arm? Does it have like flowers on it? Is it over? Is
um,
it
no, what this one is, it's in the Discord, by the way. It's in the tattoo channel. You can see it in detail there. But basically, I'll see if I can move my microphone in a way because my camera. I have a visitor.
oh, kitty?
This is Loki. This is little Loki. He's my little 9-pound bean with eyes so big they see into your soul. Mwah. You gonna be a pest or you're gonna be good. You're just gonna keep knocking stuff
Not
over on my
sure.
desk.
That's what cats are supposed to do.
Oh yeah, they own everything. And of course his tail,
Wait.
which is, like
feature.
a
It's a
dog's.
feature.
Try to keep his
feature.
shame from the camera as well.
Cat butt.
The white star of destiny. Don't look into
Twitch
it.
TOS. Twitch TOS.
I don't think that breaks Twitch TOS.
I know,
'cause
I'm
I've
just
seen
kidding.
So many
Yes.
streamers with cats.
He's
You have
headbutting
to
me like
claim
crazy. He just wants attention.
accidental cat butt compared to cat butt with intent. It's different.
But
It's different. Yeah.
oh yeah.
all
But
about
going back to the
context.
tattoo, it's a I don't know if you can, there we go. It's actually just a field with a mountain, and then the arcs have planets in them.
Okay. Okay.
Which go to get your butt out of the camera. I love the outdoors. I love the mountains, and I'm a huge space nerd, which is a completely different hobby I haven't talked about yet. But yeah,
So I would think that like, I mean, that's like, I would guess. And I mean, I myself have a few small tattoos from pre-transition. I haven't gotten any recently, but that's more just, I would love to get some. And it's just more like, it's like low down on my list of like nice things I'm going to buy for myself right now, unfortunately, but because they're expensive. But I would say that like, and even in the vision of like what I would get, like if I could go get one today, I would think that that would be gender affirming for me, even though what I'm imagining is actually like a tattoo that I've wanted to get for like a long time. But I do think that part of it, kind of like what you're saying, Samara, I think it's more about, it's not, I mean, you could say expressing yourself, or maybe even another way of saying it is like, you have taken more ownership of your body. You have made your body more you, and I think that it's that, and that's for you, Eve, that's feminine. because that's more of like, that is your like personality, that is your like soul presence, that is like where, that is you, like you're a woman. So it feels more feminine to you as a woman because you're
Makes sense.
honoring yourself more. Just like it would feel more masculine to me as a man because I'm honoring myself more because that's like what that's like what I'm leaning into as opposed to what I'm masking at this point.
And that's kind of where I was going with the whole tattoo thing, is because you, as, looking at it more from a mask perspective of, it being more gender affirming. Yeah, we see it as being more feminine. I mean, I've got flowers on my arm for goodness sakes. I would never have thought I got flowers, but like just how they envelop and I get to express myself through them just means all that much more. So no, it's such a really cool thing, and I mean, yay me stammering again, yay, awesome stutters. Let's go to something else.
You're fine.
We can continue.
I
with
have a
Reese's
question about.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Eve, you were
No,
gonna
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
telescope. You were talking about stars. Can we talk about
Do we
stars?
wait? Hold on. We got 5 minutes until break. Is this going to be longer than 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, let's wait.
Yeah,
Let's.
we can
Yeah,
wait on
yeah.
that.
Sorry.
We can wait on that.
Thank
We
you.
can wait on that, and I'll find a picture of my telescope, and then I can actually put it on screen because I'm running through OBS. So as I talk, it'll get bigger anyways, so everybody will see it.
We can go back to one of the other questions about the same topic that we were just on, which was, can you tell us a little bit about your interest now that you've begun your transition, like nails, for instance, hair, fashion? What are your likes and dislikes?
Right off the bat, dislikes bras. They can go fuck themselves. Straight up, I hate them. They suck. They're a pain, literally, figuratively. It's an evil necessity that one must have because stairs are horrible now.
Yes.
I used to run up and down stairs 2 at a time. Nope, not anymore. No, I think the pros, it's like I get to do the things I want, wear the things I want, just be as I want functionably. The cons are the amount of work I have to do to be there. As they say, it's expensive being a woman. So, going for hair treatments every handful of weeks for, $175. I have a nail appointment this coming week. That's going to run me probably $80-$90. It gets expensive quick. Clothing is not cheap anymore. I used to go to the store and buy a couple of graphic tees for like $15 a pop. Now it's like, well, I like that one blouse for $50. So
Yeah.
it's like there's that aspect of it. Interest since transitioning. I think for me, because I did the cross-dressing to trans pipeline. It's one of the phrases I've heard pop up from time to time. I had experience with a lot of that stuff. I worked at Sephora for just shy of 2 years, I believe. So I got to play with makeup. I did a lot of that stuff. I have training into that. So for me, when I jumped into my transition, I already had a lot of that knowledge in place. Now I just got to actually use it openly. I do miss working at Sephora because you got an amazing discount. It was really cool having 20% off store, 30% off Sephora brand. I really miss that.
Holy shit.
I have if you're familiar with Sephora, you get points. For every dollar you spend, you get a point. I've got about 8,000 points stored up.
And they don't expire.
Nope.
Fuck.
But the problem is you're looking at value at that point. But that's how Sephora handles it. They did recently add in using those points to get a monetary discount, but you have to spend $1,000 to get 10% off. That barely covers tax. Do better, Sephora. Come on, please. Go to Ulta. Much better option.
EV makeup tutorial when? There we go.
Who asked that? Oh, it's Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Aaron is a good friend of mine. Her and I get to hang out on occasion. Come on over. I'll do your makeup for you. Just bring your stuff.
No. We want it on Discord and on
I've
stream.
done that.
And
I have done my makeup on stream on a Chatterday. Which, by the way, today is Chatterday, so hop on the Discord, get in voice, hang out. Especially Chatterday Noir after 9 p.m. Gets spicy.
After dark or after light, as some of us call it.
Oh, stop being pedantic.
Me, never.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to call it because there's a natural lull in talking. Y'all, let's take a little break. 5-10 minutes.
great.
Have a little intermission. And I'm going to hang out because I'm the little producer. I'm just a little producer girl, running back and forth doing producer things. But I'll be here.
I'll be here
Uh,
because I can't turn off my camera. Otherwise it breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I run through OBS, so you can just
'Cause
do
she's
fun
better.
things like this. And, you're just flip it over to a different screen if you want. And then that's what everyone gets to see on the camera. I don't have to leave. I'm still here. I'm just
That's so
hiding.
fancy.
Yeah. Modern streaming tools. That's what
You're
they're
just
for.
hiding.
Yeah, but that's work.
That's
is
work,
work?
and we're going on break. I'm playing the outro now. See y'all next week or in 10 minutes if you're on the stream.
Still make the